Incoming message.
Noobert, I have come to send you a warning. You and your forces will be no match for my mechanical armor. There will be no surrender. There will be no mercy. No, you will be annihilated by my machines and be an example to all others who think they can stop us.
Well, alright then. It would appear we have a problem, a mechanical problem. I'm serious. We are dealing with a far more powerful threat. Oskar and his team have finished their ultimate enemy, Igor Invader's expanded mechanoids, and he is not planning to hold back. However, Oskar is a merciful creator and has sent me and my team information on Igor's machines so that we may create a guide on how to stop him, and even take advantage of his improved technology from vanilla mechanoids. So when they start invading you, you might live to tell the tale and spread this information to others who need it. Of course, paying for all our research, weapons, and of course fancy bionics cost a lot of silver, so thank you sponsorships, am I right? By the way, remember to like and subscribe. To hit that bell icon, our army of fox worshippers are going to need more troops if we hope to deal with threats like these. Alright then. Time to talk about what you can expect in this mod and what Igor is planning. First, this mod has a mechanic called the Total War mechanic. This is a separate mechanic from the storyteller in that the mechanoids will build up presence over time, landing ships all over the map for you to deal with and scavenge. And trust me, you don't want these mechs to grow in power. In the beginning, you won't have any mechanoid bases, but eventually some will land, each with a different ship type to indicate a level of threat. There is a frigate, the destroyer, and the cruiser, which also have the added benefits of landing at your colony as a form of raid. And the bigger troop ship and carrier ships that don't land on your base but can hold a lot of mechs and therefore increase the total war mechanics number to indicate threat levels. So why should you deal with the ships? Why not wall yourself up and just prepare for the oncoming storm of mechs? Well, you could do that, but you'd be missing out on some of this mod's unique buildables, thanks to the parts you can scavenge. Oh, and the mechanoids will become even more powerful if you let them grow, and take it from me, you don't want that. So let's talk about the mechanoids that more than likely will become your colony's death. We got the classic centipedes, Scyther, Lancer, and Pikeman. If you've played Rimworld, you might know how to deal with these many monstrous mechanoid menaces. My writer sure loves altercation, doesn't he? They are standard, but what isn't standard are the new mechs. That's right, we got 3 new types of mechs. First, the Knight. These guys are armed with short-range burst rifles, which isn't the biggest problem. No, the biggest problem is they have, and I quote, logic-defying shield belt capable of stopping projectiles. This, along with their heavy armor, will make them extremely hard to deal with in large numbers, requiring heavier armament, so save those rocket launchers. Next, the Inquisitor. Your pawns won't see it coming either. Word of advice, do not attack them with melee. First off, they are armed with a short-range chem fuel flamethrower, so unless you like having your pawns prepared well done, stay back, but that's not the biggest issue. These mechs have a nasty failsafe, where they will blow up when destroyed, so another big reason to not get in close range. Finally, the Carpenter, and oh, look at it, it's so cute. How could that one be dangerous? By the fox. This is even worse than sappers. Yeah, carpenters don't attack. Instead, they destroy walls and turrets. Your walls will not be safe with these guys around. Definitely should focus fire on them if you see them. Oh, and when it comes to the carpenter, there is an ancient variant, so if you break open an ancient danger, you will unleash these guys who will go just for your player-made structures. A simple nuisance for sure. With these 3 new mechs, you certainly will have your work cut out for you. I should also mention that this mod will come out of the box with What the Hack support. Figure I'd mention this because some of these would look cool working in my base. Now, what's not cool? The advanced mechanoids. If you let the mechanoid ships add up their presence too much, they will start sending mechs with improved armor, so if you think they were tough to kill, they are even worse now. Oh, and they also will start to utilize cover just to make things even harder. Remember what I said about ships. Yeah, start caravanning out when you see them if you can, and Don't want them to get this far in technology. Weapon-wise, they deploy standard mech weaponry. The Knights have the lower burst charge rifle that is more accurate than a centipede turret. And the Inquisitor's Inferno Cannon will definitely ruin your day. The advanced weapon variants, though, are far more powerful than their normal counterparts, either improving rate of fire or lowering it to deliver even more powerful payloads on your poor, pathetic pawns. I cannot stress this enough. Deal with the threats as early as you can, because if you don't, Igor is going to turn your colony into a crater. So, what can you expect from the ships when you do decide to send a ragtag team of pawns out to investigate? You can expect ships with mechanoids guarding them. That's what. Actually, the ships have a randomized module layout, so ships you do attack can mix things up more so with the royalty DLC, since the mod will include more things to deal with. Think of these ships like bigger mechanoid clusters. You deal with the ship, you can get the loot, so bring some pack animals because you are going to want to salvage as much as you can, especially the mechanoid components. I'll explain what you can do with these soon, but needless to say, these ship attacks will test your ability to adapt to different layouts and attacks. Like I said, bigger versions of mech clusters. They even include fun module pieces like troop storage modules that will keep spawning more mechs until you destroy them. Turrets that use charged lances, and they even include fun module pieces like troop storage modules that will keep spawning more mechs until you destroy them. Turrets that use charged lance or blaster mechanics, and my personal favorite, a repair module that fixes damages to the ship. I hate self-repairing enemies. I think it goes without saying, if you are dealing with mechanoids, bring EMP weapons or things that cut through holes, like a hot knife through butter. Also, this isn't getting into the more offensive weapons they got, like rail cannons, or automotors, or freaking orbital bombardment beam launchers. Igor is seriously not playing around. Yeah, bring EMP or powerful weapons like your own beam launcher. Hell, super powerful armor would be great. If you wanted a good enemy to fight, now you got this mechanical menace to contend with. So let's say you did contend with them and salvage their ships, what can you do now? Well, the faction and mechs are very impressive. If the mod just included the mechanoids and the total war mechanic, I'd say it would be pretty good on its own. But the second half of this mod turns this from a mod to full-blown DLC. And we're going to start that off with the factory buildings. That's right, you can now make automated factories with the parts you salvage, good ones too, that link up with each other. Couple of important things: you will need to place these buildings on factory floors, so they also draw a lot of power. So having other mods for good power sources like Rim Atomics or Vanilla Expanded Power would be useful if you want to fully utilize this mod's potential. If you don't know how to use the Rim Atomics mod, we got you covered. We recently covered it. There should be a button somewhere on your screen, up here or over there, that you can click on and go learn about it when you're done with this video. But not now. Finish watching this one, then go watch that one. Some factories also can give mood debuff, usually relating to the building itself, like being too loud or smells bad or just gives out a lot of smoke, making pawns not enjoy being around them. So I'm going to go through some of my favorite ones and give their downsides as well. The component assembler, both regular and advanced, will let you automatically make components which in the endgame are always needed, but it can be such a pain to keep up with. Having the factory automatically do it for you is a no-brainer, as a needed building, should mention the basic one, has the unique drawback of triggering the bzz event. You know that one. Randy sure loves that, am I right? The automatic drill can drill up stone chunks for you, which later can be processed with another building to get little amounts of steel, by the way. Oh, and the best part, it doesn't disturb insect hives. Super useful for masonry materials or even bits of steel with more processing, though the auto mason saw can make them unhappy. I would be too if I had to be around a large stone saw all day and it's buzzing in my ears loudly. The chem fuel clarifier can turn wood and meat into chem fuel before you ask. No corpses, so no putting rotting corpses into there. Speaking of rotting, the smell that comes out of this machine will make your pawns feel ill being around it. But hey, you can hook that up to the artillery foundry and pump out shells. With the mechs on the rise, having an entire stockpile of shells would be helpful in any situation. Word to the wise, don't let it get too hot, otherwise you get situations like this. I'm sure if you are planning for war, you will have plenty of tainted clothing looted from those stupid tribals. With the recycler, you can shred all that clothing into cloth or patch leather. Then hook it up to the auto loom and turn it into shirts you can sell to other colonies, or hell, give it to your guys since they deserve it. Oh, and those bodies, they can go into the meat grinder to turn into delicious processed meat. Do keep in mind you won't get the most valuable leathers from this process, but you can do more meat than conventional butchering, so hey, got something in return. Naturally, you can hook that building up to the conveyor fire oven to turn it all into kibble or survival meals, and if you have the vanilla expanded cooking, turn it into canned goods for war crime meat on the go. Also, the oven will heat up the room, so maybe not put it in the same room as the artillery foundry. But hey, another use for all that meat can be turning some of it into Nutrimine. With Nutrimine Infuser, all that raw meat can be rendered into future medicine. Again, no bodies. Then with all that stuff, cloth, herbal medicine, the medicine granulator can turn all that into medicine. Wake up, an oxalate. Granted, you will need to have a pawn go in and tweak the alignment every once in a while. Of course, if you want to recreate Scarface, the drug powderizer can turn your psychoid leaves into flake or yayo. Naturally, you will need a way to harvest all this stuff, but don't worry, we got autosowers and harvesters. Sure, you need to make sure nothing is in their way, like windmills, but once you get these running, planting might be a thing of the past. And without needing to do planting or sowing, that's more time you can spend on not being killed by killer robots, and I like having more time to do that. But there are other ways to give pawns more time. The drones you can make. That's right, you get drones to do the work for you. We got cleaner drones, holler bots, and even adorable drill bot. But that's not the only ones you get. You even get defense drones that patrol the areas looking for hostiles. I like the mobile turret because it reminds me of a Roomba with a pistol. So, how these drones work is no different than animals, well, outside of the fact they don't need to eat or sleep, just recharge at a power pad. They can also self-repair themselves on these pads, so long as they aren't completely destroyed. I suppose it's nice to have self-repairing robots for myself. I also like this supercomputer that adds work points to current research, so you have that little extra support. Cools the room a lot though. Guess you don't want to fry the hard drive. Oh, and if you want to deal with mechanoids from afar, try the missile launcher. Sure, it will make an impassable crater in which no life can survive the nuclear fallout you left in its wake, but hey, you took care of the problem. Use against factions will of course make them so angry no matter what level of friendliness they are at, it will drop to -100. But if you plan to piss them off anyway, doubt you care. By the way, you can now make mechanoid defenses, so not only you get riot bots, you can have auto mortars or turrets. Now you can make enemy raiders know how do you feel every time you have to deal with mech clusters. I am certainly going to have fun with auto mortars. We also got some new quests, finding old factories to salvage, resource drop spots to collect resources from some mechs, broadcast stations to find more salvageable items, oh, and even outposts of other factions calling for aid from mechanoid threats. So you can show up and be a hero. Yes, some of them do need to survive to get a quest reward for that, so don't be that guy or do. It's your game and I can't control you, so yeah, you're gonna do what you're gonna do anyways. Finally, there is the mechanoid landing beacon spot, where the mechanoids are planning to drop their ship in that region. Definitely something not to overlook, because if you take out the beacon, they won't land, so you delayed the invasion. Still got some loot and mechanoid courses to boot. This mod also gives a scenario where you are a lone scrapper with the ruins of an old factory. It's not very optimized and doesn't even have a power source, but it's the beginning to your automated adventures. Personally, if I were to play with this scenario, I would bring some friends, like Bren, who is clearly a wonderful— Hey, damn it, not again, but seriously, it is considered a harder start due to being one person, adding to wealth, and of course, no power early on. Do it if you want to, or just do your normal thing. Finally, what are ways you can deal with the mechanoid threat? Well, going with the theme of vanilla expanded weapons is a start giving you the grenade launcher, which is a reusable longer range grenade. There is also the anti-material rifle, which, as the name implies, is an armor-piercing long-range rifle. Security can provide you with more defensive turrets and defensive shields to keep key areas safe. Always a plus. Vanilla expanded and lasers can provide you with armor-piercing lasers that, with a bit of warm-up, can give you rapid-fire lasers, which may or may not blow up in your pawn's face. But hey, I'm sure they will be fine. Oh, and laser swords have 100% armor penetration. Keep that in mind. Man, this mod, I have no idea how Oskar is going to top this. A full faction with unique mechanics and automation. I'm definitely going to be spending a lot of time playing with this one, and I really hope we could help you get an understanding of this mod, how to deal with some of the problems, and our own thoughts on the mechanics. Well, time to go. Gotta keep breeding the chinchilla horde because those mechs are going to take a lot of them out. Also, plan out the next awesome guide. Thanks for watching, and remember to like and subscribe for more awesome content like this. While you're at it, comment and tell us how you plan to take down the mechs, and then watch some of these more other videos that are on your screen and click them, because there's nothing that we have left written on the script and I have nothing left to say. So listen to me drone on for 5 seconds before you click on the next video. Okay, bye.